Hey guys, I am recording the daily problem number 1, 2, and 3 that I assigned on October 20th. I've been grading a couple of your couple of the submissions, and I noticed a couple common mistakes. So I wanted to go over them in this video with you so that you can watch it, try the problems again and resubmit so that I can fix your grades, okay? All right, so let's take a look. We're only going over the 1.3 problems, number 1, 2, and 3, just all about finding domains. Let me see if I can get rid of this. Oh, no. What am I doing? Oh, okay, that's good. Alrighty, so for each function, find the domain, write each answer as an interval or union of intervals. So let's take a look. The very first function, f of x equals square root of negative 2x plus 1. Notice this is a square root function. Remember, the rule for square root functions domain is that we set the radicand to be greater than or equal to 0, right? So grab whatever's inside, what's under the square root. Just that part, not the square root, okay? Write down negative 2x plus 1 is greater than or equal to 0. Not negative 2x plus 1 is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. None of those. Must be greater than or equal to 0. Why? Because we can have square root of 0, right? Square root of 0 is 0. We can have square root of a positive number. That's okay, but we're just not allowed to have a negative. That's why the symbol must be absolutely, it needs to be greater than or equal to 0, okay? This will be something that I'll be looking forward to when I'm grading your assignment and your exams later, okay? So let's go ahead and solve this. Subtract 1 from both sides. You get negative 2x is greater than or equal to negative 1. Now, I always do this. I will make up problems where you have to divide or multiply by a negative number. Here, I'm going to have to divide both sides by negative 2. Okay? If I divide both sides by negative 2, the inequality should flip. Make sure you flip that inequality when you divide or multiply by a negative number. And the fraction on the right, negative 1 over negative 2, that will turn into a positive 1 over 2. So I got it. So I wrote the answer in inequality, but I want to go ahead and graph it and write the interval notation. So I have 1 half with a filled in circle. And because it says x is less than or equal to 1 half, I'm going to go to the left. I keep on going to the left with no bounds. The solution or the domain for this function is going to be from negative infinity to positive 1 half. Make sure to use a square bracket as we have a filled in circle or less than or equal to symbol. So that's the answer for number 1. Okay, that's the answer for number 1. Now let's try number 2. Number 2 is not a square root function, but it's a rational function. Notice it's a fraction. Remember the rule for fraction. What we're going to do is that the denominator cannot be equal to 0. So that's the rule, right? So what is the denominator here? The denominator is x squared minus x minus 56. So we're going to do x squared minus x minus 56. Say that cannot be equal to 0. And again, the symbol, this not equal to 0 symbol, is something that I will be looking forward to when I'm grading your assignment, okay? Not greater than or equal to or anything like that. It must be not equal to for the rational function. Denominator can't be equal to 0. All right, let's keep going. And then you have to show me the factoring mark. Two numbers that multiplies to be negative 56, but they better add up to negative 1. And negative 8 times positive 7 is negative 56. And if you add those two numbers, negative 8 plus positive 7 is negative 1. So that's how you factor. Now, if you solve these two, if you solve this, well, then you're going to get x minus 8 cannot be equal to 0, or x plus 7 cannot be equal to 0. Okay, the first excluded value is, well, x can't be equal to 8. And the other one, x can't be equal to negative 7. Let me go ahead and graph this on a number line. Negative 7 on the left because it's smaller. 8 on the right because it's bigger. Both are open circles because these are holes. Like, we can't have values at 8 or negative 7 because that's what's going to make the bottom of the fraction 0 if you plug them in. Go to the left, go to the middle, go to the right. Now let's write the solution in interval notation. The one that's all the way on the left, this guy right here, is going to be negative infinity to negative 7 union. What about the one in the middle? This one right here will be negative 7 to 8 union. And the very last one, this one starts at 8, goes all the way to positive infinity. So that is the solution that I'm looking for on number 2. Let's do the very last one, number 3. I love this problem. All right, so for this one, you have to consider both cases. Now, the denominator cannot be equal to 0. Remember that. So that means x minus 2 shouldn't be 0, right? What does that tell you? X can't be equal to positive 2. So that's one of the solution, or one of the part that we have to consider when we're writing the final answer. Now the second part, remember the radicand. Our radicand right here, radicand must be greater than or equal to 0, right? Because we can't have a negative number under the square root. So x plus 3 must be greater than or equal to 0. I'm going to subtract 3 from both sides and get x is greater than or equal to negative 3. Let me graph them both. What's the smaller number? Negative 3 goes on the left. 2 is bigger, so 2 goes on the right. Now, 2 different types of circle. Remember, 2 is a not equal to. So draw an open circle at 2. But 3 says greater than or equal to. So this one gets a filled in circle. Now notice it says greater than or equal to. So it's bigger. It's going to the right. Notice I'm going to the right. But as I'm going to the right, there's a hole in the ground. I have to skip this and keep on going my way. So what you are going to have is, notice this is not a single interval. We have one interval right here that connects negative 3 to 2. And another interval right here that's going from 2 all the way to positive infinity. So your final answer, the interval notation will be negative 3 to 2 union 2, start from 2 again and go all the way to positive infinity. A lot of students are writing this answer, negative 3 all the way to positive infinity. Now this one is almost good, but you're ignoring the fact that we cannot have 2 as we're ignoring the fact that 2 is an excluded value. So this answer was kind of almost good, but not really correct. So the correct answer will be this one right here. So what I'm planning on doing is, if you missed a problem or two on this daily problem as you submit them on Canvas, I will send you the link to this YouTube video. I'm gonna probably have to upload it first, and if it goes well, I'll do this for every single daily problem so that you can have extra resource when you feel like you're stuck on the problem that you have to submit for grade. We'll do number 4 and 5 on Thursday, but hopefully this was helpful. Please email me if you have any other questions, okay?